Hello, Oilers fans. Hello, hockey fans, whoever is taking the time to join me today. My name is Owen. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if it's not your first time here. Well, it ain't Dallas in 4, guys. I'll tell you that for free. The Edmonton Oilers, your Edmonton Oilers, tie the series up at 1. They get the split on the road and are now going back to Edmonton with the potential chance to utilize that home ice advantage and go up 3-1 in this series. I personally don't think it's going to be that easy. It's possible. I can't see any reason why, if Edmonton continues to play the way they've played these two games of this series, minus the immature penalties in game 1, why they couldn't take the stranglehold at home. But as I stated in my, I think I might have said it in the series preview video on my YouTube. I definitely said it on my TikTok. My prediction was Edmonton would lose games 1 and 3, but win the series in 6. And the reason why I think we might lose game 3 is because Edmonton historically is pretty bad in afternoon games, and the game on Sunday is at 1 p.m. in Edmonton, 3 p.m. for me over in the East Coast. But this was a clinic by the Edmonton Oilers. I probably won't take up much of your time here. I think this video will probably cap in at around the 10 to 15 minute mark. I think when you don't have a whole lot to say about an Oilers game, it's kind of a good thing. The Oilers played a really solid game. I would say Dallas had about 20 complete minutes in this game where they were really like the better team, but I wouldn't say that Edmonton fell asleep. Like, Edmonton really put together a good full 60-minute effort, which is something that they have struggled to do at times in these playoffs. They struggled to do it last game in this series when they lost. They have a really bad third period. But overall, this was a really solid game from the Edmonton Oilers. I would say that maybe the last 10 minutes of the second period was a lot of Dallas, and maybe the middle 10-minute area from the 15 minutes to the 5-minute mark in the third. Dallas had turned up the heat. But the Oilers did everything they needed to do to get out of those situations. The first thing I want to talk about before we move any further, Stuart Skinner. Another shutout. The ridiculous stat continues. For those of you that haven't seen it, Stuart Skinner in these 2025 playoffs, in his starts, has either had nothing more than an .834 save percentage or a shutout. Nothing else. He's never had a game with a higher save percentage than an .834 that isn't a shutout. That is unbelievable to think about. If you really think about that, that is ridiculous. But that's a real stat, and the streak continues. So that means we're either going to have a light show for the Dallas Stars on Sunday, or another shutout from Stuart Skinner if we follow the trends. But he played a phenomenal game. And the first thing that I want to put up on screen of game footage is the amazing save that he made on Esa Lindell with about 9.5 minutes left in the third period. It was a 4-on-4. It'll be up on the screen probably right here. Or maybe actually that'll be right here if it inverts. But it'll be on the bottom. An amazing paddle stick save right on the goal line. Like that, 9 times out of 10, that is a goal. Maybe even 99 times out of 100, that is a goal. But Stuart Skinner makes what might be the best save he's ever made in his career, and what potentially could be the best save that we've seen so far in these playoffs. Absolutely incredible stuff. You never know, man. If that goal goes in, maybe the momentum starts to swing in Dallas's favor. Maybe they score another quick one, and then they've got, 8 minutes to score one more goal and tie the game. So, like, every save matters in situations like that, even if you are up 3-0 with 9 minutes to play. So that was an amazing save from Stu. He had a really solid game. Honestly, I don't have any bad notes. There isn't a single Oiler that I really think had a poor game. I do think the 2 penalties we took were pretty stupid. The Corey Perry, at least I think we only took 2 penalties. But the Corey Perry I think it was a roughing penalty. That was pretty dumb. And then the Darnell Nurse slashing penalty behind the play. I believe he slashes Ropey Hintz like on the laces. And if you've ever played hockey before, there isn't a lot of padding on that area of the skate. So I do hope that Hintz is okay. He's a great player, and you want to beat teams at their best. I don't want to beat Dallas if they're missing their second. I mean, I don't think he's their second best player, but the way he's been playing in the playoffs, he has been, just because Heiskanen hasn't played the entire playoffs. But I do hope he is okay. I do still think he kind of tried to like oversell it to get the penalty. I don't really like. I mean, I can't. Obviously, I'm not him. I don't know how much pain he was in. I'm sure he was in a lot of pain, but I do think he was trying to sell that a bit more than like you might have needed to, just because it was behind the play. So he needed to do something to get the ref's attention because they probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. But that was a pretty like needless penalty. You don't need to slash the guy, no matter where you're slashing him. But the Oilers killed off that power play as they did every power play that they had. They had a perfect penalty kill today, which is huge. You got to roll with that. The other big benefit from this win is we get one step closer to Matthias Ekholm being able to return in this series, and now we have a tie series going home. So we've put ourselves in a good position here. We could definitely be up 2-0 in the series, which is what kind of is unfortunate. You know, if we didn't toss away game one, if we played the way we played tonight, we would have been up 2-0 in the series. So it kind of sucks that we don't have that opportunity. But you know what? They had a really good bounce back game, and you know Edmonton has proven time and time again that they are good at bouncing back in situations like this. So it's good to see that that's still going. I thought Leon and Connor had really good games again. They just look like they're moving so much better, like I mentioned in my previous YouTube video, more engaged, and everyone's really pulling their weight, and those are the signs of a team that's, you know, on a deep run and doing well and being successful. You know, you need all your guys to buy into your game plan, buy into the strategy, and show up and do their thing. So it's been really great to see, and hopefully it can continue. But let's get into the goals for the game, the 3 Edmonton goals to close out this video. The first goal was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his second goal of the series, his second power play goal of the series. This one was a shot from Bouchard at the blue line that was deflected by a Dallas player trying to block the shot, and then I believe it was going to go wide, and then Nuge tips it in behind Ottinger just to make sure it went in. So that's a big goal. Our first power play opportunity of the game, which I do think kind of came on a bit of a weak call personally, but I mean, hey, you take that and you run with it. And it was nice to see Edmonton capitalize on it for sure. So that was a really strong start, especially to get the power play going. Anything we can to get it going. Like, that's something the special teams need to really get in the groove as we continue through these playoffs. You know, like, I don't really feel confident going into potentially going into another Stanley Cup final with our penalty kill being as bad as it's been so far through these playoffs. So hopefully they can figure that out as we continue. The second goal was our boy Brett Kulak. So with Brett Kulak's goal, I believe there are only 2 defensemen left on Edmonton who haven't scored a goal. Well, technically 3 if you count Emberson, who hasn't been in the lineup recently. But I believe Klingberg and Stetcher both don't have goals. Bouchard has 5, Nurse has 2, Wallman has 1, Kulak has 1 now. So Kulak scores a huge goal because, as I mentioned, Dallas had a really strong final 10 minutes of the second period. Kulak scored with about 5 minutes left in the second period, so he just absolutely sucked the life out of Dallas and out of that building. And then about a minute and 30 seconds later, Connor Brown scores to make it a 3-0 game off what was a great play by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Shoots the puck, just a light shot for the tip, and yeah, just every line played great today. We could have honestly been up more than that. There was a lot of really, really great opportunities that we had on like rebounds and open nets that we didn't capitalize on. So this could have been worse. But I'm very happy with the way Edmonton played today. Like I said, there isn't really a lot of notes, and that's usually a good thing. So hopefully the boys have a good home stand here and you know, take advantage of that Edmonton home atmosphere, that Edmonton home crowd. Because they have a chance to do something really crazy right now. If they can go home and take advantage of this, that would be absolutely massive. So, you know, the thing that I think about in my mind, and maybe we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. Actually, I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to manifest anything into the air, so we're not even going to say it. But regardless, game 3 and 4 are massive. Obviously, Dallas is I think Dallas is more desperate for a split. You know what I mean? Like, now the pressure's kind of on them now. They were able to, you know, sneak away with that win in game 1, and and they couldn't repeat that again tonight. And now they're in a bit of trouble, because now you're going into the other team's building, and you have to get that split at like obviously at the worst. In Edmonton's case, you obviously can't afford to lose both games either, but you need to get the split at worst. But me personally, and I'm not just saying this, like the way Edmonton has played, they have dominated. Like Edmonton has played a good 100 minutes of hockey in this series. Dallas has played a good 40. Like, it is very lopsided in my opinion right now. And I just think because of the home crowd, because Edmonton just seems to play better at home as well. Like, I think Edmonton is more likely to, be able to take advantage of this homestand and turn it into something really nice and give ourselves maybe a bit of breathing room potentially. But yeah, the Oilers just have to keep on going. Like, to me tonight, like, this game was a game that this is how Stanley Cup winning teams play. Games like today, where they can score goals, they can keep their foot on the gas, and still put on a defensive masterclass to hold on to a lead. That is this exact game, the way that it was executed from beginning to end was absolutely perfect. That's the type of game I could see the Florida Panthers playing, and a game that I've seen them play before. And Edmonton needs to maintain this level of play if they want to continue to go on this run and continue to push for their ultimate goal. But obviously we're still a ways away from that. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anything. But this was a very impressive win, and one that it instills some confidence in me personally moving forward. I'm so glad they got the win today. I didn't need the stress, but this was good, and yeah, like I really don't have a whole lot else to say. I apologize if these videos are kind of boring. Like, this wasn't one of those games that gets the adrenaline bumping. Like, I thought that recording videos right at, like, it's 11:39 p.m. The game ended not too long ago. So, I'm recording this right after the game ended. I talked about it in my last YouTube video that I thought maybe recording videos, like, right after the games would be good for entertainment value, because I would be a little bit more energetic. I am tired, but outside of that, like, it was an exciting game. Like, as far as if you're a fan of hockey, there was a lot of like opportunities that guys didn't score on, and I think that's always fun. But yeah, like, it just wasn't like a game to be mad about or super ecstatic about either. You know what I mean? Like, it's business as usual. Job's far from finished, so just got to keep chugging along. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with the YouTube. I will easily be able to get the video out on Sunday, since that's an afternoon game. I'll record my video right after it, get it out for you guys. If you're not from my TikTok, it's in the description down below. I highly recommend checking that out for shorter videos of very similar quality to this. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, leave a like, and let me know your thoughts on the game down below and what your predictions are for the rest of the series. And I will catch you all in the next one.